Hello, my name is Martin Omander and I welcome you to Google Root Access, the show featuring actionable startup advice. My guest today is Philip Bergqvist from the startup Unified Intent. Philip, tell us a bit about Unified Intent.
So we're a Swedish startup company. We've developed an app called Unified Remote, which today is actually one of the top-rated apps on the Android Play Store. Essentially what it does is it turns your smartphone into a universal remote control for your Mac, Windows, or Linux computer. And what makes it super easy is that you get different remote controls in one app for different applications. So if you want to control Spotify or VLC or iTunes or even mouse or keyboard, you can do all of this from one app rather than having to use, say, 50 different apps for all of this. Most of our users will maybe use their computer connected up to their TV in their living room and then be able to sit back in their sofa and control it using their smartphone.
Ah, right. So I went to the Play Store and downloaded the app and saw that it was free, yet you do have revenue. So tell me about how you were thinking about revenue and how you got to that point.
So basically when we first released the app, this was a couple years ago, and we didn't really think, hey, let's make a startup out of this and let's earn lots of money.
That's the best way to start a startup, by the way. Yeah.
It was just us, two guys, hobby project, and we just wanted to solve our own use case. And so we started off by releasing a free version of the app. And then just from the traction and the response that we got early on, we said, maybe we can start monetizing as well. So then we decided to release a paid version as well. And now we've just been going on from there and adding new features here and there.
So you have two applications. One is free and one you pay for. And some features are only in the paid version. So what features are only in the paid version? And could you tell us a bit about what thinking went into that? Why did you put only those in the paid version?
So one of the problems that we've noticed right now is that our free version is maybe a bit too good. And that's because when we first created it, we just added all the features that we wanted and released it free. Whereas now when we think back, we notice that maybe we put in too many free things in that version. But now as time goes on, all the new features that we had go into the paid version. So when we start adding voice control or widgets or quick actions, all these features go into the full version instead. And the biggest difference between the two is the number of remote controls that you can use. So in the free version, you only get access to 13 different remote controls, whereas in the full version, you have access to 70 plus programs that you can control. And all the new remote controls that we had always go into the full version instead.
I see. So there are many ways to charge premium customers, and many startups use the freemium model like you do. You have picked the approach of having two applications, a free and a paid one. Why did you choose that approach? So
actually, when we started out, there wasn't in-app purchases for Android. So this was really the best approach for us. We released the free version and then a separate app, which is the paid version. We have in-app purchases on iPhone, and we've seen that's been really successful so far. So that's definitely something that we're looking into adding for the Android version as well.
So you see that in-app purchases are successful. You mean that there's a greater conversion rate, or in what way are they successful?
Yeah, so we actually see a greater conversion rate. I don't know if that is specifically due to in-app purchases or maybe differences in the different platforms. But at the end of the day, it makes it easier for our users to take the step of upgrading, and obviously that's what we should be doing. Make it easier for our users to find what features they can buy and if they want them to easily do it.
Right, because if you have to exit the app, go and find the app again, download it, pay, sort of lose context that you want to guide the user through. So the paid, how much do you charge for the paid app, and why did you pick that particular price?
Yeah, so the paid app is $399. We kind of just looked around at the App Store or the Play Store and had a look. Okay, the category that we want to be in, that's tools. We looked at maybe similarly complex apps, and then we found $399. That probably works, and we've gone with that, and it's worked well for us so far.
Have you experimented with higher or lower pricing?
Yeah, so from time to time we'll do a sort of campaign, maybe at a 1 year or second year anniversary of the app. We'll do a campaign where we discount the app to just $1, and then we see massive boosts during a short period of time. I don't think that would be very profitable in the long run. I think it's good that we have our $4 price point, but it is interesting to experiment and see what happens when we change the price, which is super easy to do through the developer console.
So you see a massive boost when you lower the price to 99 cents. Why don't you keep the price down there all the time and get the boost all the time?
So what we see is when we lower the price, there's a lot of media recognition. So there are sites that just scrape the Play Store and look for apps that change the prices. So when we lower the price, there's a big buzz around it. But then eventually, after a couple of days, maybe it starts to die off a bit. And I think in the long run, I don't think we'd be as profitable with a lower price. But it's it's super difficult to know.
Yeah. But okay, so by doing that, lowering the price repeatedly and then taking it back up, you can get that media hit several times.
We try not to put it into too much of a system. We don't think it's a good way of maybe marketing our app, but from time to time it's fun to give our fans a bit of a treat from time to time.
Right. Very good. Yeah. So many startups, perhaps even most today, try to do the freemium model. What advice would you give to them? What would you have done differently, and what has been successful for you?
Yeah, so I think it's a very good technique when starting out to have a free version of an app. Obviously, it's maybe easier to get new users, get traction early on with a free app versus a paid app where maybe you don't have a lot of reviews, maybe people don't really know about you yet. So that's worked really well for us. We built up a relatively big user base on our free version before we even launched our paid app. It was about 1 year difference there. But also, as I mentioned before, the bit of a problem we're seeing now is that our free version is maybe a bit too good. So if you are a startup and you're thinking that you might want to monetize in the future, maybe think a bit about what features do we want to have in the free app right now.
Right. Well, great. Thank you very much for sharing your experiences with us, Philip.
Yeah, thanks.
Hopefully you found something useful here that you can apply in your startup. If you have comments, please enter them in the YouTube comment section. We read everything you write. And finally, if you're a high-tech entrepreneur, go to developers.google.com/startups to find out how Google can help you. That's it. See you next time. All right, det gick bra.
Ja, nej,
just det.
Hoppas det ger något bra till.